live. I'll find out. Fingers crossed we're there. It says we're connected to YouTube and Facebook. So I know I'm a couple of minutes early. So if you are here, please say hello. Got lots to share with you tonight. So it would be nice to speak to a few of you instead of talking to myself. This is really weird. My camera setup means that I have this little tiny screen about that big that I can see to look straight at. But there's a bigger screen to my right which has me in it that I can see. So I can see what you're seeing better. But when I look at the bigger screen, I look like I'm not looking at you. So I keep having to do this with my glasses because that's the bit I can see out of to see my small screen, which is a bit weird. So good evening, Tina. How are you? Did you get that pain sorted out yet, Tina? Good evening, Martin. Hello, Sazmore. Hello, Amanda. A few of you joining already. Good grief. Must be exciting for the new stuff. Oh, Tina, you need to go and get that looked at and hope the dog's okay. All go, isn't it? My goodness, suddenly everybody came in. Good evening, Debbie, Susan, Rosemary, and YouTube. Good evening, Carol. So, you're all tuning in for the new goodies. Apologies that we didn't make it to the last Facebook Live we should have done 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, I just ran out of seconds in my day and I hadn't had time to prep anything. We were literally bouncing from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next in February. It was bonkers month. Really, really busy. Good evening, Carol. Good evening, Dawn. And Lynn. My goodness, everybody's in tonight. So apologies that we didn't get there. I just couldn't get it. Couldn't make it work. Good evening, Linda. Good evening, Pam. So, shall we get started? I think so. So, tonight we have a new release. We have 4 new dies and 2 new stamps. We did the 4 because TV are in their birthday month. Good evening, Michelle and Margaret. Glad you enjoyed your workshop day, Margaret. It was lovely to see you both there. Yeah, so TV has a theme every week for their birthday month for the 4 weeks they're on. And for ours, it's music or anything with 4 because they're 4. Evening Sue, evening Susan. So we came up with 4 dies. Hello, Mum. So we have 4 dies, and because it's their birthday month, we did a couple of things that are birthday related. So hopefully... good evening, Sue. Good evening, Karen. Good evening, Richard. I'm assuming my lovely niece Ava is with you as well. And maybe even my sister. So hello to the family. And good evening, Margaret. So we're going to get started anyway with the new bits. So we'll start off by flipping that round and taking that off. Hi, Jules. Hi, Angela. So I'm just going to try and keep up with everybody as you're coming in. But we will start off with our first set of stamps. Oh, you've got a sneak peek there. Second set. So this is the first set. This is our gift box. So you get this lovely big gifty type box, obviously. And you've got 2 lots of separate stamps there. And then you've got a happy birthday. It doesn't mean it has to be a birthday gift box. It could be for anything. And it's just a bit funky. It's not too frilly. It's not too girly. I kind of had men's, boys, kids. So yeah, a mixture. Monty, get my niece down the stairs to watch, unless she's not allowed downstairs. Glad you enjoyed it, David. And Margaret, lovely to see you at the weekend as well. So that's our first set of stamps. So this is our $9.99 set. So it's roughly 6x4, so it will fit on your 6x6 cards, which I know lots of you are working on, or it'd be a really nice DL card as well. So that's the first set of stamps. The second set of stamps is a pile of presents. This one's a bit more detailed. Again, there is nothing there that says it's girly. There's no flowers. There's no frills. It's just a pile of presents. Got a few stars on there for you to colour in just to add a little bit of something to it. So that's, again, one of our $9.99 sets. So roughly 6x4. That's the size that we work off. So it's definitely no bigger than 6 inches. So you would definitely fit it on a smaller card, which you'll see from some of our samples from the design team. And then we will start with our die set. So our first set is oval stars and stripes detailed die. And that's exactly what it is. So you get your oval with the flowers already on it. Then you get the 2 flowers, because you've got 2 sizes of flowers. So you've got the 2 sizes and you've got the layering section to it too. The matting or whatever you want to call it. And this is what it cuts out like. It's a really, really pretty die. And lots of our sentiments will fit in there. You don't have to have it up that way. You could have it up this way. You could have it up this way. You could have it however you want. It's just we try and put it in the way that is going to give us the most value for money as far as space and metal that we're using. So that's what's always in our minds when we're doing that. Oh, Eileen, I don't envy you. Eileen says she's up to her neck in boxes as she's just moved. Well, I've just given you two more boxes in stamps if you want them. Got to pay for it first. So you've got that set first off. Then we have Entangled Flourish. Now, some of you will know this as a stamp. We had it as a stamp a while ago. It has been discontinued, but we have brought it out as a die, and it's a really lovely die again. We've got a light bouncing off the top of us. Bear with me a second. I don't know how much difference this will make, but we will try. It might stop it bouncing off us. So, hello Carol, hello Jed. Right, so there we go. So we've got our Entangled Flourish. So you get the lovely big flourish, you get the buds, and you get the two different sizes of the flowers, and you get the matting for underneath. So this and this are exactly the same size. One layer is on top of the other, so you can make this a solid colour and just put white or black or whatever you want over the top. Again, so this is what your die will cut out like. So you get all that detail in the middle of your flowers. You've got the different sets to layer up, and this is what I mean. So you get your solids, so your negative and positive basically. So this one will fit on the top. You'll get some of that colour underneath that will show through on the gap on this one. I'm sure we'll get to play with this at some point in the near future, and I'll be able to show you all of that. Then we have this. I love this, and I'm not using it tonight, and I made myself not use every die because I'm making one card, I can't use it all. So we have got the large flower background detailed die. So from this, it doesn't look like it's particularly big. You get all this detail of your flowers. You get your mat to go underneath. It's a perfect fit, so you can do this in one colour with all the detail and then put the solid underneath. This is what it cuts out like. So this will fit perfectly over the top of this section. And I adore this one. I've had so much fun. David, you don't need to have an account to order on the website. So this is actually quite a good one. Let me pop this up. He says you can't get on the website. Can't get on the website on my account, so I can't order anything. You don't actually have an account. We do have accounts, as you know. You don't have to register on the account to order. All that is for your own personal look back and see if I've already got it. That has no connection to the loyalty scheme that we run. None of that runs in conjunction. The account is purely so that you can go in and see what you've previously ordered. David, so that shouldn't stop you. Unfortunately, we can't get you into your account either because you will have been prompted to set up your own password once you got there. And once that's done, we can't get you into it. The only way you could do that is to set up a new one, unfortunately. But yes, we do have an account system on our website, but you don't have to log in to order. Hope that made sense. It isn't as big as you think it is, actually, David. It is, and I haven't got a ruler here, but we will roughly give you a guess. So edge to edge, just on 6 inches. That way. Hello, Alison. You sat quietly. Good evening, June. So yeah, it's roughly 6 inches across. So slightly smaller that way, but 6 inches across. Again, will fit on a 6x6 card. So Alison's a newbie. She says she's new. She's a newbie here. Well, I've just always sat silent, she said. So now, lovely that you're joining in with us. So that is our large flower background detailed die. And then last but not least, I believe somebody asked, and I can't think who it was last time, and these have been in production for ages, since before Christmas. Somebody said, I love the connect the dots. Can we have it in a square? We have it in a square. So we have got our fabulous 3 sizes, large, medium, small. I will grab my dies to show you. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. So we've got the large, which is the one I'm using today, and that is just under 6 inches. So if you have one of the 6-inch machines, this will cut through easily on there. Then we've got the medium, and then we've got our small. So there are 3 different sizes. I know it kind of blends in a little bit here, doesn't it? But they are separate. It's the only way I can fit it all onto one piece of paper. Sarah has popped on and said, hi, I need to go out soon, but we'll catch up later. You have the busiest life, I know. So that is our triple dots and squares detailed die. As I say, somebody did ask me if they could have it, if we were getting it in squares. And yes, you were already getting them in squares, but I couldn't tell you. So that is the new dies. Just one other thing. We have bought a couple of the dies back that we've been out of stock for a while. We've been asked and asked and asked and asked. And it was like, do we bring them back or do we wait and just do all the new releases? So we've fought for a little while, but we've had so many people asking for them, they've come back. So we have bought our floral curves die set back. So you get this lovely big flourish here, and then you get all the individual flowers which matte and which you can layer over the top of these. They are solid flowers, they're not the detailed ones. They have the detail in them, but they don't have a detail piece to go over the top. So the detail is in the solid piece. And then we have also bought Star Bright Flourish dies back. Again, both of these sold out so fast when we had them previously. And we did say that dies, when they come in, we will only do a certain amount of runs on them and then go on to the next one. But these ones, just the demand was so high on them. So you've got Star Bright and Floral Curves die there. So that is all the dies and stamps. Hi Carol, hope you are feeling all right. So should we get on to having a look at some of the samples from our fabulous little design team? So let's get started. So we're going to start with a pile of presents. So this one is a pile of presents stamped in black memento, coloured with Copic markers, and it's a 7x7 card, sorry. And the sentiment is from the gift box stamp set. Oh, I think we can come down a little bit on these. You can see them a bit better. I might have to go back out again in a minute. So we have another newbie. Hello, I'm a newbie to the group, looking forward to being involved. Well, glad you could join us, Maureen. Hopefully you'll enjoy the Facebook Live and come back and join in a bit more. So that's our first one. Then we have another lovely one from Hazel. Pile of presents stamped in black memento, sentiment from Flower Creations, using Versafine Claire Morning Mist. So the sentiment's been done with the grey, and the stamped image has been done with the black, and it's literally just a band across in the colour of your choice, or multiple colours as Hazel has done. And that is a 6x6 card. So yes, that is how it fits on a 6x6. We're not using this one in tonight's demo. We are using the other parcels, but you will see what it can do. And then last but not least on this one, we have got one from Helen, and she has used a sentiment from the gift box background stamped with grey ink, coloured with Copic pens. And this is an 8x8. Evening, Josie. So 8x8, 7x7. Oh, got to go back out again. 7x7, 6x6. Can't fit them all on the screen. All done with the same stamp. Shows that you can use it on all different sizes of cards. And again, it would look really cute on a DL card. So that is a pile of presents. Then we have the gift box. So, yeah, we can start with that one. We've got, I didn't even tell you what it was. Gift box stamp, stamped in memento, sentiment from the gift box, and Versafine Twilight background is the cross stitch stencil, which you can't really see on camera, I don't think. And I think even if I came up close, good evening, Gabrielle. Even if I come up close, it's so pale in there, I don't know if you'll make it out, but we'll try. And that's again being coloured with Copic markers by Helen. So that's a 6x6. Very rare for Helen to do a 6x6 card, I have to say. No, it's because it's not Helen, it's Hazel. I was going to say. And then Hazel's done a 5x5 with this one. So I told you it would fit. How cute is that? And again, she's put a sentiment on there, which is from our Christmas letter stamp set. And she's used the Honeydew Crafts gold embossing powder on here. And that's all you have to do. Really sweet. And then last but not least, again, we have got an 8x8 by Helen. Gift box coloured with Copic markers, gold glitter pen around to fill in the stars. Right, so she's used the parcel in the background to make the background. This is what I say, you don't, if you're watching the pennies, use what you've got to make your backgrounds. Don't buy the pattern papers if you haven't got them, and you can manage without them. So she's just stamped that with a grey. On the background of the card, she's stamped out really lightly with a really light grey the happy birthday all over it. And then just that stamp, stamped and coloured in, and a little bit of gold pen on the stars and circles. Carol, I think all of these could be Christmas cards. Just by changing the sentiment, it would make a really, really good, it's a really versatile stamp, I think, personally. I know I made it, but... so that, yeah, we've got 8x8, 6x6, 5x5. So again, it fits everything. And then we have got, we are going into the dies now. So we are on the triple dots and squares detailed die. So we will go in size orders this time. So we've got triple dots, triple dots and squares detail die. Fun foliage dies used on here as well. Sentiment is from Floral Spray, and it is really a real cutie. I really like this one. I love these monochrome cards anyway. White on white, really simple. A little bit of cord to put a bow on there. These flourish fun foliage leaves on there as well. So the not last release, the release before that. And this is just using the little tiny one, which is so cute. And again, this is a nice card to send to somebody. You're never more than a thought away. If someone's having a really tough time, or if somebody's really poorly and you know they're not going to get better, this is a really cute card to give. Good evening, Liz. We'll let you be late. We don't mind. You came to join us. That's always nice. And then so that's a 6x6. And then we've got a 7x7 also from Hazel. Triple dots and squares detailed die, balloon die. Background was used the squares and rectangles stencil, and the sentiment is from Flower Creation. So let's see if we can pick this up. So we've got just some plain coloured cardstock in the background. She's also obviously used that to cut out the image, or cut out the die, sorry, and to cut out the balloon die. Also this white piece, and I think it's just caught the light just right. You can see that she's run the white piece through the die cut machine with the stencil on the top. So if you've got a silicone mat, you can make all of your stencils into embossing folders. So it gives you the embossed paper. Again, that one's a 7x7. So we've had a 6x6, we've had a 7x7, and now we have an 8x8. Triple dots and squares. Stencil is the squares and rectangles, and the colour that Helen has used is Blueprint Sketch. This was, I can't remember what congratulations comes out of. it will come to me. It's one of our die sets, has congratulations in. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. The stars are the stars that cut out from a Shining Star stamp set. And then she's used the medium and the small dies there just to make that background card. So again, we've got an 8x8, a 7x7 and a 6x6 card in that one. Now we are going over to Entwined. Are we going to go to that one? I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll go to that one. Entangled Flourish. But they're a little bit mixed up here. Nikki, we will be showing the new items again at the end of the live, just so that you know that that is coming, because Nikki's just said she's late. That's fine, we'll let you be late, Nikki. Right. So let's have I had to work this one out myself here. So Helen has made this one. It's an 8x8, triple dot square, entangled flourish and shining star on here. That's where that congratulations came out of. And the butterfly stamp coloured with with Zig clean colour pens. I'm not sure which stamp set that one's out of, but I'm sure we'll find it. There we go. So we've got tone on tone here. So Helen has done in the background here, we've got all these little dots. She has used our dotty circle stencil and put white paste through it. Then white die cut and just placed on top of that. And then the larger die, triple squares and dots die. I've got to get all these names back in my head. I do so many at a time, but I have to remember which ones I've picked. And we've just put the next lot in for the next release. And so my brain is fried. It's fried anyway. If you've seen me this week, I'm fried. Brain fried. So if I'm stumbling over the names, I apologise. I will get there. So it's just a monochrome with that pop of colour in there. Really stands out, but really, really lovely and effective, I think. And then we have one from Hazel. She's used in a couple of different ways here. So we've got the Entangled Flourish detailed die. Background using the dot dash stencil with a pink, orange and yellow ink. Sentiment is from Tiger Lily stamp set and it's been stamped in Morning Mist. So it's just the flowers. And instead of colouring the background and putting a white on top, she's done the background in white and put a colour on the top, which I think is really cute. So if you've got coloured cardstocks that you want to use up, great way to do it. And again, not a really frilly fancy card. It's just a really simple, clean cut, easy card. Again, DL. So we've now got an 8x8 and a DL. And then Hazel has also done one on a 6x6 card, and the sentiment from this one is from Floral Best and it's been stamped with white embossing powder. So Hazel has used the die upside down, and she's left in the bits that would normally be cut away from this particular die. She's popped them back in. Whether she's managed to cut that out without getting those bits out, I don't know, or whether she has just painstakingly put them all back in, which she may well have done as well. I don't know. But it's really effective. Just whiten a piece of offcut of your blue card and it's done. So simple. So again, same die, 4 completely different sizes and styles of card. Now we are going on to... Which one are we going to next? I'm trying to get them in an order. Have I got them in that order? Where are we? So we are Oval Stars and Stripes detailed die. For this one, we have got 2 6x6s and a 7 on this one. Oval Stars and Stripes detailed die in white cardstock, vellum coloured with Zig clean markers in yellow. Sentiment is from Trailing Frames and been stamped in Versamark with white embossing powder. The sentiment. Again, so I said to you before, it's in the die, in the packaging a certain way, but don't necessarily need to keep it that way. You can move it around and make it fit the card that you want it to fit. So technically it's upwards in the packaging, but it works every which way, and that's just a really simple card. No real dimension to this, so it will run, should go through, I would imagine, yeah, that will go through just as a standard postage. So it's a really nice little, just a little note, which we all like to get. So I think Helen, they must have been on the same page. And I said to you, Helen never does 8x8, 6x6 cards, but she has on this one, which is a bit freaky for me because, as I say, she never does little cards. But she's done a lovely job on this one. Bear with me a second. I just noticed that I'd got something on there that shouldn't be on there. So, oval stars and stripes, and the sentiment is from Shining Star. Again, really simple, really nice springy type cards. Because obviously, I don't know about where you live, but we had a lovely day today. I don't think it's staying. I think it was a one-off for a little while, but we had it. Trying to get that in focus. So she's just used her own oval layering dies here and then popped in our frame around the edge. Really simple, really effective. Sentiment is from Shining Star. You are all very quiet on me tonight again. Oval Shining Star stripes and detail die with silver cardstock. Sentiment is just add cake, and green dots are Shining Star stamp set. Sentiment is from Shining Star stamp set. So literally squares cut out, and then obviously cut a blue, cut it out of the blue, and then cut the silver out to pop inside. Matte and layers onto a white cardstock. Really simple, really easy card. No dimension more than a sheet of cardstock. So again, would fit through on a 7x7. I'm not sure if it would fit through as a standard, but you could certainly make that smaller, and it would. Excuse me. And then I think we're just about on the last one. I believe so. So we are now going to work on our, I'll show you our large flower background. Thank you, Susan. They are, our design team are a lovely little, both of them. We've only got 2, and they are so good. They just work like little troopers for me, and we couldn't do this without them. I say this all the time, but thank you very much, ladies. We couldn't do it without you. And they're both moving the house at the moment as well. So, and I believe Hazel actually moved last weekend, and she brought these to me just before. So large flower background in cut on white cardstock. Background coloured and blended with Catherine Pooley inks. And the sentiment is from a single lily. And it's just lovely. I love, love, love this die. I cannot wait to be playing. I just love it. So simple. You die cut it, and as I said, it's a perfect match. The layer underneath matches the outside. There's no border. There's not. It's there to do exactly what Hazel has done with it. One over the top. Michelle must be in Sydney, Australia. I'm not saying a word, Michelle. Hopefully you got there before Saturday, and hopefully you'll be able to get home and you're not going via that part of the world. So it just makes it really pop. Just a coloured background. You can make it yourself, or you can just use coloured paper behind or cardstock, and it just is a perfect fit to do exactly that. That was a 7x7 card, by the way. We have another, and it was from Hazel. We have another 7x7, again, similar concept. Background is our falling leaves stencil. Sentiment is from Amazing Mouse. Just a couple of gold dot embellishments, which could very well be what's come out of the flowers. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it could be. Oh, she says it. Ah, yes, I get them. From Shining Star. So on our Shining Star stamp set, we have a strip of dots that you can. They're basically designed to leave the circles in the cardstock, but Hazel's actually used them on this card. To the actual tiny little dots to make to do your gems basically, and it's copper mirror card as she used. It's a gold. It's like a matte gold coppery colour, which is beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to play with this. I really can't. And the sentiment on here, as I say, is from Maisie Mouse. Just a little note to say hello. And then three more. See, look, even the design team loved this one. So we've gone from a 7x7. I'm going to go to an 8x8 next. This one is from Helen, and she's used the stamp sentiment from Bows and Blooms with white embossing powder. You decide. I absolutely love it. It's done there for you already. We've got some glitter cardstock in the back. I think she's actually used glitter cardstock and put like diamond dust or something on there. But you could certainly do it with a mirror cardstock with diamond dust. You certainly could do this with a mirror card and a glitter cardstock underneath and the mirror cardstock on top. But I just think it's beautiful. So we've got 8x8, we've got 7x7. We have got a random size card, this one, Helen. I'm not sure what size it is, so bear with me 2 seconds. It is actually 6.5 by just under 8. So kind of American letter size, I suppose. Linda has said, Amanda, I love your new hairstyle. It's lovely. Thank you, Linda. I haven't actually had it changed the hairstyle. I've just had it lobbed because it was so long. I don't normally have it that long. So this one is from Helen, large flower background, and the sentiment is from Shining Star. So what Helen has actually done is cut out the image from the card base. If I'm right. Yep. And then she has, or from a card, and then cut the card base to fit, I think. Popped some colour cardstock underneath, and then popped her die cut back in, so it slots in and you wouldn't even know there. So it's kind of like left you there. And then you've got this fabulous happy birthday to you from Shining Star. And so we've gone from all of those larger sizes, and then Hazel has done a 5x5 using the same die. And the floor, she's used the Floral Hearts stencil in the background, but you can't see that very much at all. And the sentiment is from Tiger Lily, and it's been embossed with our white embossing powder. But how cute is that? Literally, she's cut a frame out here, so that would just be one of her own personal frames. But you wouldn't even have to layer it over the top if you didn't want to. You could just put it on top of, just cut it to size and put it on top. It does look nice being layered underneath the frame, but you can cut those yourself if you don't have dies. So we have got 5x5, a random size, which works really, really well. But again, this would work with your 8x8s. We've got an 8x8, and we've got 7x7s. So we've got all of these different size cards, all done with that fabulous big background die. So that is all of the samples for you for this evening. So do you want to get into a demo? I have prepped a lot of this ahead because, as you can tell, we're already at 30. We've already been blabbing for over half an hour. And you don't really want to be listening to me waffling all night, do you? I know I wouldn't want to be listening to me waffling all night. So let's grab everything you need for tonight. Tonight's been a bit of a challenge for me because I did manage to hurt my hand breaking down at the show at the weekend. So I think I've just pulled a muscle or something in my hand, but it's really, can't grip anything particularly well, which is not much fun. So here we go. So we're using the cardstock that we have, our regular cardstock, super smooth. It comes in 250, 300 GSM. We've got black cardstock that comes in the 2 weights as well. Amanda, I've just read that you've been signed off work for another 4 weeks for your leg. So hopefully you will get to play. Hope the leg's on the mend though. And then we've got our anti-static bag, if we remember to use it. We have got Versafine Onyx Black, crystal clear embossing powder. We'll go here. We've got the glue in 120 and 30mm glues. And the dies we are going to be using tonight are, you couldn't not, could we? Triple dots and squares. I was really good and didn't use the background die. And we are also going to be using, I'm getting there, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make myself some space as I'm going. We're also going to be using our gift box stamp set. So that's, oh, colours. Need to let you know what colours we're using. We've got scattered straw, abandoned coral, and picked raspberry. Now these are 3 colours. Obviously picked raspberry, you know I use a lot. Abandoned coral and scattered straw I don't use very often. And we did our first workshop a couple of weeks ago. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Zena was using this particular combination of colours. And I thought I'm going to give them a go. So we will use this combination of colours and see what everybody thinks. Right, let me just pop all of these bits out of the way. Right, let's get going. Right, that's the button we need. So we have got an 8x8 card base. We've got a 7.5-inch black square. Amanda has popped this up here. It's not very big at the moment. Wanted to say fantastic workshop in the new venue in Bury St Edmunds. Food was amazing. Had a blast. Looking forward to October already. Thank you very much. The venue was lovely. I'm really pleased everybody enjoyed it. We are almost fully booked already for the next one. So, and then we have got, yes, Amanda, proper sizes. 7.25 square inch, 7.25 square. And we are using scraps for everything else. So any bits and pieces of white or black cardstock, any pieces, odd pieces, I just keep hold of them all because I use them all for all sorts. So let's get this all stuck together. Get these 2 pieces stuck down, and that's them out of my way then. I'm doing my best to keep my volume up tonight. Hopefully I'm not blasting you all, and hopefully you're all hearing me, because I know a few of you have been struggling listening to me. But we are going to take those measurements off now for a moment so you can see what we're doing. So literally, that's where I know about my hand. And they're easy squeeze bottles. None of us have time to be ill. Right. It is quite nice. We've got 2 weekends at home. Ooh, Amanda. Looks like no fussy cutting. I lied. There is some fussy cutting. Because I like to fussy cut, you know that. So that's our basic card base. We're then going to take some scraps of card here. We're going to take our colours. I have cut quite a lot of this ahead. I'm just going to show you how I got to them, to that point. So our colours are 1, 2, 3. They are completely random use of. Amanda, you could get away without fussy cutting this if you put it straight onto the card blank. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to mess about a bit more than that. Why not? So you don't have to fussy cut it if you don't want to. We are using our blending brushes. Sorry, I forgot to say that. They are all, massive delivery is on its way. So we have got a limited availability at the moment, but the big amount is coming. So I am going to be cutting out a large die. I've literally done it right to the edge so it just catches it. I've already cut it out, but I want to show you how I got to how I got to. In fact, that piece is, I couldn't cut it on that piece anyway because it's literally, it's just a tad too small, but you'll get the idea. I've just had a blast, but no, I'm not going to do that. So roughly, I've kind of just eyeballing where I want those colours to be. And I'll just mark it with my finger. So I don't want to go really, just so that I can use up scraps. And we are just randomly going in with colour. I'm going to try not to move it too much because I know it makes the camera shake. I'll try and be a bit more gentle when I do it. But we don't need to do the whole piece. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. I'm just going around the edges. And it looks a bit weird and a bit random. It is weird and random because I've asked you to do it weird and random. But it's purely because we're just cutting it out, so it doesn't have to be beautiful. Nobody's going to know whether you managed to blend all of those corners in perfectly or whether those colours worked with that one. No one's going to know. Carol has put, oh, not random. I know, Carol, I feel your pain. But you have got to try and be a bit random. It doesn't have to be beautifully random. It can be a bit more perfect if you want it to be. I've gone random and I'm embracing random. We hope. And then we're going to die cut that. Once it's die cut, I'm going to put it back on top of my card base so that you can see it. I'm avoiding cutting it out, ladies, because literally that winding of that die cut machine on my poorly wrist is not happy tonight. And all I have done is I have backed it. I'm going to bring it up closer. I've backed it with a little bit of black. You know I love to do that and make them all pop. It's just poking through randomly on that die cut. All right. As I said to you, I have done a lot of this ahead tonight because I could. And you can put it, there's no right, there's no wrong. You could put it on a jaunty angle if you really wanted to. I am going to go square, but I'm not going to put it together just yet. Pop that off to one side. Got to just wipe my surface down. Now, one of the other things is also, and I know this sounds really random, but if you did the right size square and you cut it out, so this is just this cut out where I get a perfect round. That's just the outside square. So that was the size I cut it. This, I think, makes a really funky little frame. So you could use that as well. So you've got two for the price of one if you cut the square right size. So, as I said, pop those off to one side now. And I am going to get another piece of scrap paper. And that piece is going to cut out. It's going to stamp out even. It's really difficult when we're doing the lives and the new releases. I haven't got a massive table here. And trying to fit everything on and be able to show you everything and not show you everything in advance is difficult. So we're going to ink that stamp up. Lots and lots of little light taps. I've just realised I'm off the screen. Lots and lots of little light taps. Sorry, I had to lift my chair up. Those of you that are not regular viewers, I have to have my chair down lower when I do my Facebook lives. And then I have to raise it up when I'm crafting. Otherwise, you just get the top of my head. So lots and lots of little light taps. And we are going to stamp this on here. Now, there are a couple of... That's got a black mark in the middle. It's going to drive me mad. There are a couple of little tips for you when you're doing stamping and fussy cutting, Amanda. So, never ever take your hands off your block when you're doing stamping. Plenty of ink, but lots and lots of little light taps. And bring it as close to the edge as you can. I could have gone further in the middle there if I'd have been clever, but I didn't. Carol says, I can't craft sitting down for some reason. Lots of us have little quirky things like that we can't do crafting certain ways. And mine is I can do it sitting down, I can do it standing up. But I have to be high enough up. And that one this chair brings me nearly sitting on the floor. So crystal clear embossing powder over the top. Note, I forgot to use my embossing anti-static bag. That's because I haven't put it on top of my ink pad, which I normally always do. I was going to clear up my mess, wasn't I? clear up where I blended some ink. Now, if you wanted to do this, you could, a slightly different way you can. I have opted to do it this way round, but you could colour the background first and then, oh, that's still wet on there. Hang on a moment, ladies and gents. Yeah, so you could colour the background first, or you could do it the way I am. I need just the bow as well. So I'm just going to randomly position my bow just because I just need that bow section. We'll just print that out as well before I emboss it. Just be careful not to knock your embossing powder off the other image that you've just stamped out, because you are going to need that to stay put. And again, pop some embossing powder on there. As I say, these aren't colours that I would normally go for, but I think it was Zena did such, they just looked so effective on the card that we made at the workshop that I thought, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll give them a go, push myself out of my comfort zone. So we're going to heat from underneath. I know I say this every time. Get your heat gun hot, and then I heat from underneath so that the embossing powder doesn't bounce around so much. But if you are not comfortable doing that, you do not have to do it from underneath. You can do it on top. I would normally have this done in advance, but I didn't get a chance to today. It's been a day and a half, let's just put it that way. And Amanda, there's another Amanda on here called Amanda Ashby. And bless her heart, she got my muddle completely today. She doesn't ever make any comments, but we had a bit of a chat and a bit of a giggle this afternoon when I rang to apologise for my mess. So Amanda Asprey, apologies again. So we have stamped that out. Now just allow that to cool down for a couple of seconds. That's all it takes. Now I am going to go in and randomly colour this. This is what I mean. You could have coloured it and stamped on top, but you need to let that dry. And obviously I don't have time when I'm on Facebook Live drying. The only problem I have when I do this is that it means that I'm colouring over the top of that embossing powder with an oxide, which is an opaque colour. So it dulls down the embossing powder. I'm going to give you a little tip on how to bring that back up in just a moment. Oh, that was a bit heavy-handed, wasn't it? And so randomly all over. And again, it is just chucking it on there, because it doesn't actually, people won't even notice if it wasn't blended beautifully, and they certainly won't notice if there's a colour there that you're not sure about. They're really not going to know. Only you know how perfect or imperfect your cards are. So if they are not of a standard that you wanted them to be, but everybody else likes them, take the compliment and move on. All right? Don't give yourself a hard time. We are just about there, but I want some colour in there. And I think we'll put a bit more pink solid on there. So what I have done here is I keep a stash of slightly cleaner wet wipes that I've used in my daily routine here. And I leave them just to dry. And then you can buff it with a microfiber cloth if you want. This is just, it doesn't have to even be clean. I can use ones that aren't so clean. See? Any of these, I just hang on to a few of them every so often and I buff it. So obviously these are wet wipes, and they have a little bit of lanolin, or well, it's not lanolin, is it? It's a little bit of moisture on them. So it also helps you, if it hasn't completely blended how you wanted it, it will help you blend that as well. But this will help you buff your embossing powder back up. Tina, you don't have to have good blending skills for this. And I think you've heard me say this multiple times. The best way to learn to blend is using it through a stencil. It will make your life so much easier. Now, scissors. Where did I put my scissors? Don't tell me I put the most important thing away. No, I didn't. So they have to be here somewhere. There they are. Right, now I'm not going to cut all of this one out. I am going to cut the bow out because I need a second bow and I didn't have time to do it earlier. So again, I'm just going to go in. If you're not hugely confident, and again, I say this all the time, if you're not hugely confident fussy cutting, then give yourself a little edge all the way around. It will make your life so much easier when you're doing this than if you try to make it perfect. So I will show you in a moment because I did it on the other one, but not on this one. So I need this one to be up to the edge, but the other one doesn't have to be. So I can show you the other one in a moment. So we just quickly cut this out. And it's only the bow section I want. I don't need all the extra bits that are attached. So I'm literally, it's weird because we do two different channels. We're Facebook and YouTube live at the same time. The others can't see comments, so I try my best to repeat what's being said. Amanda has put on here, you put away the scissors, and then there's two smiley with tears emojis. Because she says, Amanda doesn't like fussy cutting. And there's fussy cutting in this one. But again, you don't have to. You could do it so that you just stamp straight onto the cardstock. So we have got, I think I've made a mess on there again. So we'll dry that down. So we've cut our bow out. And I'm literally just going to take, I've got a random little tool here that I just want to give that a little bit of a shape to it. And then I can nip it at the edges where the bow is kind of tied, and that will give it a little bit of shape just so it's not completely flat. Now, what I said about giving yourself grace when you're cutting things out, if I cut that image out slightly wider, my eye is automatically drawn to the stamped image. It's not drawn to how I've cut it out. If I go in and I cut off some of that black line, then your eye would be drawn to that. So when you're cutting out and you're not the most confident, you're going to cut out and give yourself a little bit of a gap all the way around. Again, that gap doesn't have to be exactly the same all the way around. I find that harder to do that bit for you, but I want to do it to show you that you can be more forgiving with your cutting out if you're not the most confident. So my mum has said, Tina, in answer to Tina's question, she put random I can do, it's blending I have trouble with. And mum, you're right. Tina, she says, Tina, when you're blending, make sure you don't put any pressure on the brush and you will find it much easier. She's completely right. Don't force it with the brush and it will come together easier. So I'm just going to sign myself off here in 2 seconds. I should have done it before, but I wanted to be able to show you how quick and easy it is to cut this shape out. And as I'm over halfway, we may as well just quickly randomly cut this out and finish it. Or should I? I'll just cut it myself off. So flip that over so I can show you. There we go. We can go in. You can't even see, more probably on the bow there, just by giving yourself that edge. You can't see that edge. Anybody that's looking at this doesn't see that edge. They see the stamped image. Bigger piece. They see the stamped image, not your extra coloured bit around the edge. So give yourself some grace and do it like that. So once I've cut it all out, I then did it a second time. I stuck it onto a piece of black and I cut around the edge. So it brought the black out further as well. So I gave myself the grace when I was cutting it out. I then gave myself another black layer on it. because I wanted it to shadow like I have shadowed my die. This is then going to sit on the top here. But we'll stick that down before we do the next bit. Now I fought with myself quite a bit while I was making this one up today, because I thought, do we bring in those beautiful trio of bows that we have back in stock? I will show you those as well. I think I've got them here somewhere. I can show somebody. I will grab them and show you anyway. Yeah, so we'll stick this all down and we'll put this card together. Then I will grab those. So we're going to stick this down. Now, I've decided I'm not going to go with that pastry brush on here, just because I actually quite like it having a little bit of movement to it. I am just going to stick down on the dots, and that wouldn't be that easy with, we'll see, I may have to go in and change my whole concept of this. I may have to stick it all down, but I wanted it to have a little bit of movement. Don't want it to be stuck down solid. Let's go that way. By going with the glue, you have a little bit of wiggle room. And once that's set, it still means that these have got some movement to them. We're then going to stick this on here. Again, you could raise this onto foam pads if you wanted. You don't have to. I have decided I'm not going to. We're going to go flat surface. I lost my tweezers, not the last time I was in TV, the time before that, and I've never seen them since. So I think they've probably gone and I need to invest in a new pair, but I haven't had time to yet. So we're going to pop that down on top of there. We're then going to take these lovely bows. Now I've got two because I did one earlier and I needed a second. So we're just going to pop our bow in the middle here. And I'm only gluing it in the centre because I want that movement on my card. I have also die cut a sentiment out, stamped it, coloured the background exactly the same way. We'll pop that on there as well. And now here's where I have my dilemma that I have with you. So I did plan to put the lovely big bow on there, which I think looks really cute. And then I was going to put that off on an angle, and I thought, that to me, I'm a straight line girl. You all know that. I like things in a straight line. So we took that bow off, we popped that sentiment straight across, and that lovely bow we've just done is going to go up in that corner. I think it worked better keeping the same bow that's on here, and that's the card. So simple to make. I mean, you could die cut out a whole bunch of these so you had them in lots of different colours. I'm just going to grab my trio of bows stamp. I think I've put it away, which is a bit silly of me. Or maybe I didn't put it away. Maybe I just didn't have it here. I've got it out somewhere. I've put it somewhere really safe, and I don't know where that really safe place is. Ah, there we go. So this was the trio of bows that sold out within, I think it was almost a record for us. I think it was 9 minutes. It sold out on TV for us this time. 9 minutes or 11 minutes, I can't remember which. So that's the trio of bows, which is now back in stock. If you want it, it's back in stock. But again, we're almost limited on that one. So yeah, so it could have been that big bow, which I do think works. But I kind of like that little bow, bringing it all tied in together. And you can put bows on men's cards if they all match, I think. So that was my dilemma. Now I've put all that together and I'm thinking, I like those little stars and dots that we have. So I'm going to randomly stick some of these on as well. I maybe should have done this first, but I didn't, so we'll just pop a few on the card base. And you'll note I'm using Oxides. They will not give you a perfect stamped image. Don't expect it to. Don't ask it to, because it's not going to do it. I'm liking that. We'll put a few more on there. Not too many more, just another couple. And obviously now I've done 3 corners, I've got to do the 4th. So we'll pick the 4th one as well. There we go. Simple, easy, quick card to make. Just clean up that mess before it goes everywhere, because you know what these kinds of things are like. They do spread across the world like I don't know what. Right, so I'm going to put my lids on here. We're going to do a close-up on that card, and then I know quite a few of you joined me a little bit later. Jules is joining us from Georgia, sitting down doing her granddaughter's diamond art. How nice. Hope you had a safe trip, Jules, and that you're enjoying family time. You never know, you might get stuck over there. It's worse places to be stuck, hey? Right, so as I say, our blending brushes are also now coming back in stock in massive quantities. So we'll have a close up on this card. All the same colour, just randomly pop those dots on the corners. Sentiment, and I just adore this die. It's going to be used a lot. Again, it's showing to we have bought in more than double the stock that we normally have after the dots ran out so fast. Connect the Dots has sold out for us. We're on our 4th pre-order on it at the moment. So yeah, we've bought in way more than we would normally bring in. So I'm just trying to clear up so I can bring out the new dies and not get in a mess and a muddle. So if you have been waiting for them, don't wait for too long. If you want them, the pre-order has almost sold out as well. We have another order coming that's gone in, but that's going to be a little while before we get that. That'll be April before that makes it here. So don't hang on and wait for that one. So right, I'm nearly there, ladies and gents. I've nearly cleared up so I can get those new bits out and show you again. Excuse me. Right, we'll get this out of the way. Oh, sorry, bash the camera. That's lovely to hear. Maureen says, love the card and it's been a lovely way to spend an evening. So I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Maureen. You're more than welcome to join us again. You've been a pleasure, if not very quiet. So yeah, those of you that wanted to see the new bits and pieces again, we will quickly run through them. Got to fish them all out now. So we have got triple dots and squares detailed die, which cuts out like so. I am going to go quite quick, ladies, because we've been an hour already. We've got large flower background detailed die, which cuts out like so. We've got entangled flourish detailed die, which cuts out like so. So you get all your negatives and positives, which is really cute. You then get your oval stars and stripes detailed die, and that's how that one cuts out. We've also got our pile of presents stamp set, and the one you've just seen me use with the triple dots and squares is our gift box stamps set. So they're all the new ones. Also back in stock, if you missed it, we have got our floral curves and our star bright. We have also got the trio of bows back in stock as well. So all of you that were waiting for all of those to come back, they are back. Right. I've got a bit of a glow on now. I'm going to just have to lower my seat because I forgot to do that before I turned it on. Good night, Susan. It's been lovely to see you. take care. Have a lovely evening. So that's me finished. A couple of things to tell you about before we do go completely. So we have got TV on the 11th of March, which is next Wednesday at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. So there's only an hour gap between the two. So, I'll be a bit frazzled. I didn't realise that. Don't know why I didn't realise that, but I did. Look, see, I've got really hot today doing this. Stamporama in Southampton. I think it's Eastleigh Leisure Centre we're at. That is on Saturday, the 21st of March. So it is the Saturday, not the Sunday that you would normally expect us to see her there. And then our next Facebook Live will be the 19th of March at 7 p.m. I will do my very best to be able to make that one. It's the day before we leave for another show, so I will have to be super organised, but I promise I'll do my very, 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 very best to be here. Hope you've enjoyed the evening. I hope you like the new releases, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Have a lovely evening.